This just in. Apple is announcing a bunch of shit at their event. I'm super happy, so let's talk about it.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Let me preface this by saying first, I have never really been, well, I used to be an Apple fan until I found out that half or all of their stuff is made in China. And there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, it didn't really ring true that it was a real American company when they decide to make their stuff in China. To me, this doesn't make any sense. There's so many of those jobs that can come to the US, and I was just ultimately bothered by it. And I really didn't see what the difference between Apple and a Samsung, or really, well, probably Samsung, because that's who technically makes most of their stuff for them, or did. But that always really bothered me about Apple, and ultimately what has bothered me since then has been their arrogance to price products the way they do. I don't agree with it. I also don't agree with kind of other phone manufacturers, maybe besides Google, because they actually give you really good prices on their phones, and they have a lot of nice tech packed into it. So Apple just announced the new rendition of the Mac Pro. I used to want one of these things back in the day for so long. They're always so super expensive, and I never really understood the allure that these Mac Pros had, honestly. And I was actually laughing when I saw the announcement of the new Mac Pros, simply because I thought it was comical to see all of like the big YouTubers just like going nuts like in the crowd, like Apple had released something that we've never seen before, spec-wise, you know what I mean? So I want to go to the first thing that I saw, and how I saw all these YouTubers like tweeting this shit out like it was fucking, like it was a bonfire, like we've never seen this before, and what a great deal to get this, right? So the new Mac Pro is going to be starting at $5,999 for an 8-core Xeon, 32 gigs of RAM, an AMD Workstation 7100 GPU, and a 256 gigabyte SSD. That's not bad for an 8-core, but the price is so over the top, it's so offensive that I'm surprised that nobody was looking around like this.
What? What the fuck?
Yeah, like, the fuck? Like, seriously? $6,000 for an 8-core? Bro, I don't even need to tell you, but, I mean, the only way these things sound good, in my opinion, is if Windows PCs did not exist in this world. That's the only way I would be excited, because I wouldn't know about anything else. I mean, you can go get you a Zen Core, a Threadripper, I mean, you can go get an Intel. Like, I just don't, I'm so confused. I'm just so confused as to why anybody should be or would be excited about this. Like, now the other specs for the top of the line one, that thing is a beast. 28 core Xenon processor, 300 watts. Basically, this is what, I mean, that thing's gonna be amazing. But if they're already telling you that the 8 core is gonna cost you $6,000, I don't even wanna know what the 28 core is gonna cost. Matter of fact, they're gonna give you a display, an XDR display with it for another, what, like $5,000. That's insane. I'm reading this on my phone, by the way. But, you know, back to what I was saying, just prepare your wallets, dude, because you're gonna see all these YouTubers that were in the crowds. They're gonna be selling this shit like hotcakes, and they're only genuinely caring about the shit because they're getting it for free. They are gonna get it for free. Matter of fact, after the show, they probably already signed up to receive their free demo unit or their free unit once it ships. So to me it's very disgenuine. I saw one of the guys that I used to follow a while back. Your average Negro. I'm sorry, your average consumer. And the only thing really average about him is, like I said, he's the average Negro mind would get excited about that shit. Like, there's nothing exciting about what they announced as far as the Mac Pro. Very disappointed. I don't even know if Apple realizes that fucking Threadripper, like, these things exist. Like, I don't even think they know. But I think actually they do know, but they know that you'll pay for anything that they put out. And that's what bothers me. Apple, they act like they are the Ferrari of tech, and honestly, it's not that outstanding. You know what I mean? It's not that outstanding at all. Let's just be honest. I mean, especially if you are a filmmaker or a cinematographer or a videographer, and you're going to be working with 4K, 8K, raw files and stuff like that. I mean, the industry standard really is Adobe Premiere, Windows. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I'm going to be working with Final Cut Pro. I don't want to completely trash Apple. I'm going to be working with Apple later this year, especially when I get my, probably going to be a Sony FS5 Mark II, maybe. I'm not sure. But definitely going to get an iPad Pro probably, and a laptop, a MacBook Pro or some shit. So I'm going to be learning Final Cut. I've always wanted to mess with it and play with it because I'm Windows based. But I mean, to me, this is disheartening. I mean, who the hell is gonna spend that much money on an 8-core? I mean, that just doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then to spend another $5,000 on a display, fucking Apple. I mean, you have got to be a dick rider so hard for Apple to just ignore the blatant abuse that they are putting their customers through. None of their products, in my opinion, are worth the prices that they put on them. I will just say that. I don't care how much you like the product. I don't care how much you try to glamorize it. It's still made in fucking China, right? The parts that they have, they don't make them. They buy them from some other manufacturer who puts out phones and puts out other tech as well. So spare me with the, oh, Apple is so premium, it's like a Ferrari. You know, they're not Italian. These motherfuckers don't do anything original, in my opinion. And that's where I stand. So stop with the tweets. like they have done something so extraordinary that everybody in the world should pay attention. It's not Tesla. It's not outstanding. It's not astonishing. It's not. The only thing astonishing is the prices that they put on this shit. Do yourself a favor, build yourself a PC, and leave Apple alone. Period. Anyways, I got a lot to talk about in the next coming videos. I know you haven't seen me in a week, but I am back and I have a lot of stuff to tell you. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Love is love.